Hello and welcome back to part 3 of our tutorial on how to calculate the approximate yield formula. In our previous videos, we calculated the average dividends portion of the approximate yield formula. Then the second video, we calculated the average growth of a stock during the approximate yield formula. And this third and final installment is going to discuss how to calculate the average price of a stock. Now, if you haven't gone and looked back at our previous videos, please do. They're going to be located at the end of this video. I'm going to link to the videos to watch, and watch the average dividends one first, then watch the average growth of a stock video second, and then watch this one third. So if you haven't watched the other two, pause the video right here, go and watch those two other videos, and then come back to this one, and then you'll know how to do all three parts of the approximate yield formula, or how to calculate all three parts of the approximate yield formula. Part 4 video, which will take place right after this video is completed, is putting the three formulas together from the first 3 videos. So it is imperative that you watch those that you watch all the videos leading up to the final approximate yield formula video. So with that, let's get started. If you've watched the videos already, you'll know that the approximate yield formula part 1 was a little bit complicated. You had to do a few steps to get to the solution, and then the average growth of a stock formula. Again, that was probably the most difficult one because you had price to earnings ratios you had to deal with, you had an earnings per share number that you had to deal with, and you had multiple steps to get to that final answer regarding the average growth of a stock. This last one, this last portion of the formula, which we're going to be going over, the denominator, the average price of a stock, that is actually it's probably the simplest of the 3 formulas that we've gone through. So this video won't be quite as long. I know the other ones were about 10 minutes. This one will be much more shorter. So let's get started. So as you can see, like always, the questions on the left, solution will be on the right, and let's get started. So it says the average price of a stock. So the question asks, the future price of a stock is $33.54. And if you want to know where I got that number from, go watch video number 2 of this series. It talks about how to calculate the average growth of a stock and what that future price of, we found the future price within that formula. So go back and figure out what that future price of the stock is by watching video number 2 in this series. The current price, that's the one that's given to us, is $26, and that's been given to us throughout all 3 videos. What is the average price of the stock over a 4-year period? So one of the things that is different is let me just write out the formula first, and then we'll explain it. So the formula for the average price of the stock is your future price plus your current price divided by 2. And let me explain this to us fairly quickly. And let me just format this for us so it looks nice. Okay. As you can see, we're trying to take an average of a price, right? In the previous videos, you would have seen that we divided by the number of years. Now, that is when we're trying to find the average growth of a stock or an average dividends number, because those are distributed throughout a 4-year time frame, and then we're trying to figure out on per year what's the average price. When we're trying to figure out the average price of a stock, though, all you have to do is consider 2 numbers, the future price and the current price. And just like any average that you would do in a simple math class, it's the sum of the total divided by the number of items that were in that total. So, for example, if you were trying to find the average price of your grocery items, and let's say, for instance, we'll just say a box of macaroni and cheese. let's say last year you bought a box of macaroni and cheese for $2. This year you buy a box of macaroni and cheese for $4, and you want to find the average price of what you bought mac and cheese for over the past 2 years, or over the past year, I mean. All you would do is take your beginning one, 2, your current one, 4, add those two together, and divide by 2, right? Divide by 2 because we're just looking at the average price of the stock. So all we're doing is trying to find that average price. Doesn't matter how many years it is, doesn't matter. All we're doing is it's a strict divide by 2. So for this problem, it's fairly simple. I'm going to write down the variables that we have. So your future price is $33.54. Your current price is $26. And all you do is divide by 2 because it's an average. So those are the only 2 variables that you have to plug in. Let me put a $sign on here to make it look good for us. And let's just calculate that. We go $33.54 plus 26. And I'll put those in parentheses for us so you can see how we're actually going to do it. And then you take that whole number and you divide by 2. Or you could write it differently. You could go 33.54, depending on your calculator, divide by 2. And if we do this, let's center it for us. Let's make it look nice. Okay, there we go. And so your answer, and we'll say the average price of this stock, the average price was, and let's do the actual formula. $29.77. Really simple formula. $29.77. So if you look at this formula, the average dividends plus the average growth of a stock divided by the average price of a stock, what you could do is replace that number by $29.77. We calculated the numerator in multiple videos before, so go back and watch those 2 videos. They are going to be linked at the end of this video, so you can click right onto them. But to wrap it up, we found out that the future price of a stock was $33.54. We know that the current price is $26. All we do is add the 2 up, divide by 2. So that concludes this tutorial on the average price of a stock. The next video coming up in this series, we'll be putting all 3 of the formulas together. So the first formula was the average dividends. The average growth of a stock was the second part of the formula. And then the third part of the formula was the one that we just calculated, average price of a stock. All 3 of those have now been solved in our playlist. If you don't know what those previous 2 were, again, go back and watch those, get those numbers, and then come back to video number 4, which will conclude this series in which we discuss just finding out what the approximate yield formula is for these for this problem. So again, thank you so much, and have a good day.